Now delighted to be joined by the actor, writer, hacked-off campaigner for press reform, Steve Coogan. Steve, very good to see you. Tell me, what was it in particular in the Sussex interview that I suppose resonated most with you?
Well, the royal family is, Prince Harry said the royal family is controlled by the tabloids in a pact because it's too scared of their power. And the same pact applies to most politicians and all governments, as we saw when they cancelled Leveson II and the Royal Charter regulation. Tabloid press is controlled, of course, by a handful of tax-shy billionaires with their own agenda. And anyone who stands up to the press is attacked by them because they're bullies. Anyone who takes them to court, if they can afford to take them to court, as this happened with Harry, who is suing The Sun and The Mirror for phone hacking and worse, and Meghan Markle when she sued the Mail, which is when things got really nasty. There are areas, other areas, like when people are involved in employment claims, there's a law against victimisation, bullying of complainants. They get attacked. The fact that Meghan Markle and Harry are attacked has nothing to do with jet-setting or hypocrisy. It's because they broke the golden rule. That says leave us alone and we will go easier on you next time. Society of Editors made a statement saying no problem with the press at all, not even the tabloids.
But Steve, the guy who made that statement has been forced to resign today. I mean, the tabloids and the press in general are all over the place. They're in turmoil. Yeah,
well, they said there's no bigotry whatsoever in any other industry. If the fat cats were so complacent, the press would rightly be holding their feet to the fire. But of course, there's no accountability. It's all about power.
But hang on a second. But Steve, the guy who said that tonight has been forced to resign.
Good. I mean, the fact is that we've even heard that Ofcom is investigating Piers Morgan for disbelieving Meghan Markle's mental health claims. They should be investigating whether it was right that a man who's cited in dozens of claimants in the Mirror hacking litigation should have been allowed a platform to attack one of his own accusers.
But hang on a second. But I mean, just to be absolutely clear, because we've talked to Piers about this, he says there is first of all, as you know, he's consistently said he didn't, in any sense, sanction phone hacking and wasn't aware of it in his own institution. And he also says, to be absolutely clear, that what he has to say about members of the royal family has nothing to do.
Well, Piers Morgan accused Meghan Markle of lying, and Piers Morgan several years ago, in front of the Leveson inquiry, swore under oath they had no knowledge of hacking at the Mirror Group newspapers. The Mirror Group newspapers have paid out tens of millions in damages to litigants.
But he does. But Leveson did actually. But Leveson did say that he did. That he.
Piers Morgan's had 5 years. Allow me 5 minutes, right? He claimed that he had no knowledge of it, and yet there's tens of millions paid out by the Mirror Group newspapers in lawsuits against them. When he said under oath that he had no knowledge.
But actually, Steve, I've got to interrupt you here, because Leveson himself said that the evidence didn't establish that he authorised the hacking of voicemails. He was absolutely categoric about that, Leveson. So you do have to be careful about any allegations of this sort you make, because what you want to talk about, as I understood it, was the need for reform both of the press, and that's way bigger than Piers Morgan, and reform of the monarchy, which I think you also have issues about. And these seem to me to be much bigger and more important issues.
Yes, but Piers Morgan is symptomatic of the problem with the tabloids. His bullying behaviour is a perfect example.
Honestly, Steve has left ITV. I don't think it's...
Sorry, Piers Morgan... Look, you've got to let me finish. If you invite me on the show, let me finish the point I'm making. But Piers Morgan has denied any knowledge of it, and yet everyone else at the Mirror Group newspapers knew this was going on.
OK,
and yet
you've made your point, and Piers has denied knowledge of it, and Leveson agreed that there was absolutely no evidence that he sanctioned any of it. So I do think it's...
They didn't. Leveson viewed his evidence with great... With great...
I just ask you, I need to know what... OK, all right. So, anyway, that was all a bit more focused on a former colleague of mine than I might have wanted. So, actually, one of the things that I really wanted to talk to him about, which, unfortunately he didn't want to talk about, is where do you draw the line? I mean, obviously, it's really important that newspapers hold, powerful people to account, particularly people who govern us, as it were. Where do you think today we can draw the line about what is an acceptable, in a sense, investigation by a newspaper? And, are celebrities ever legitimate targets for, press investigations?
Well, I think anybody in the public eye is a legitimate target for scrutiny. It's when that scrutiny becomes borderline obsessive, and I think Alex Beresford the other morning put it very clearly when he made the comment that Piers talked about Meghan Markle endlessly and we're not aware of her ever saying anything about him in return. And I do feel that she got a very, very rough deal from Piers Morgan, and it did feel like bullying. And as someone who's been on the receiving end of Piers, sometimes it can feel like bullying, which I think is sad. It oversteps the mark, doesn't it? And I think we have a long way to go. But I'm quite sad that Ian Murray has quit. He is the former editor of my local paper, the Southern Daily Echo, so I know him. And I'm surprised that he came out with that statement yesterday, actually, because we do know that there are elements within, particularly the tabloids, where there are some pretty nasty undertones, certainly of sexism, certainly of racism. And that's not acceptable in 21st century Britain.
Now, Steve, you've made the remarkable statement that there's nothing more for anybody to find out about you, which is a nice position for anybody to be in. But obviously you do believe that there's a legitimate role in holding power to account. There's obviously a legitimate role, I presume you would feel, for the press in holding the royal family to account. But where is...
Of course.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. Yes, of course. I mean, responsible tabloid journalism is about holding people to account, holding the powerful to account. And but I'm afraid this has nothing to do with that. It's to do with other issues, to do with press regulation, to do with the fact they stood up against tabloids. They had the money, as indeed not many people do, to stand up when they're being bullied by the press. And of course, so we don't have any independent press regulation. If we did, then I wouldn't need to come on on your wonderful programme to talk about it. I'd be able to get on with my day job.
No, we love what you do in your day job. Now, if we could also talk a bit about the toxic role of social media. And I mean, one of the things that the press says is, don't blame us anymore, it's all social media.
Well, the fact is the press still have a huge and I would say largely pernicious influence because they are, because and what you do is you hold people account that you can hold to account. The press still have a wide influence. 38 million people read the Mail online. And they have a huge influence. And with regard to the issue of institutionalised racism, look at how the Mail and many of the tabloids treat refugees. It's quite clear to us that there is an issue that they have to deal with. Every other body every other public body has been subject to this new sort of introspection, where they have to deal with their own potential subconscious racism, and the press should be no different.
So just finally, you're on record of saying that you're not in favour of the monarchy. What would you abolish first, the monarchy or the tabloids?
Well, I wouldn't abolish either of them. I do have a problem. I do have an issue with the institution of the monarchy, but I don't have a problem with individuals who have a right to privacy, whether they're prince or pauper. So I wouldn't. I have my own views on that, but I certainly wouldn't abolish the tabloid press. I just wish they'd act with a bit more introspection and there was some sort of public and public accountability for their actions, which there isn't at the moment.
Steve, really good to see you. Thanks so much.